I think this property really is pretty special as a complete unit, and it is kind of representative of something that would be very difficult to ever do again, if not impossible.
And so I foresee myself up in heaven looking down at this little oasis surrounded by casinos, but this will always be a little green area which will produce, hopefully, food.
New Mexico is now ranked as one of the top 10 fastest growing states in the country, with a population that's expected to increase 35% over the next 25 years. So if we really want to ensure that we conserve what makes New Mexico the land of enchantment, we really need to focus now on those high priority, high conservation value lands and help protect them now. The New Mexico Land Conservancy is a statewide land trust that was founded in 2002. Our mission is to help preserve New Mexico's land heritage by protecting significant wildlife habitat, productive ag lands, scenic open space, cultural and historic sites, and recreational lands for conservation purposes and public benefits. I think what distinguishes us from some of the local trusts is that we're the only organization that truly is working statewide, not only in terms of our on-the-ground conservation, but also in terms of the policy and legislative work that we do. We helped create a state tax credit for landowners who donate land and conservation easements, and we've also helped appropriate some funding through the state legislature for land conservation work.
Hey, Scott.
Hi, Mr. Roberts. How are you?
Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for letting me come down and visit with you today.
I'm looking forward to showing you the rest of the ranch today.
We work with a wide variety of landowners to help conserve their land. Some landowners are interested in conserving the land because they want to keep it in a pristine and natural state and want to protect wildlife habitat. We also work with a lot of farmers and ranchers who are interested in preserving the productivity of their farms and keeping that land available for agriculture. And we also work with green developers who are interested in incorporating easements into their development planning. I think the common thread that runs through all of these landowners is that they all have a common interest in and love of protecting their land. Whether they've recently acquired it or it's a piece of property that's been in their family for multiple generations.
Also does.
Beautiful head. Come on. Yeah, come on. Where are you? Let's go for a little walk and take a look at all this. It's so beautiful. We have onions, and we put a conservation easement on these two fields to be used in perpetuity agriculturally. That could be grazing, haying, organic farming, whatever, but never will there be anything built on there. There is an incoming group of young people who want to farm, who are in no position to buy any land or even rent it out here, who are looking for land. And now that I've talked to my farmer and discovered that on these 2 acres he's making a living, I think it shows this can be done. And so I'm hoping that some other people learning of this possibility by making an agricultural conservation easement will preserve that land and they can still continue living there.
We're right now having lots of conversation with large ranch owners throughout the county because as ranching changes and agriculture changes, they don't know what to do with their properties. So there's the immediate response from a lot of people in the communities is, oh, well, that's just going to be developed as housing or whatever. We need options. And that's the real important relationship, I think, between the county and the nonprofit groups and the conservation groups is Do we know what all the options are? Have we worked through everything? Have we understood everything we can do with conservation easements and transfer of development rights? So it would seem that that's the most important thing, is how can you be involved? And that as we work more together, we need to make sure the answers to that question become more apparent to people with property in important parts of the county.
Conservation easements are a private, voluntary agreement between a land trust and a landowner. Basically, conservation easements are restricting subdivision and development and other forms of land use. Conservation easements are very flexible. They're tailored to the different properties that we're working to conserve. For example, we have easements on everything from small 2-acre farm plots like the Hokona Farms project in Powaki to a 30,000-acre easement west of Magdalena in Socorro County. Landowners can continue to farm and ranch and practice other kinds of traditional forms of land use. The easements are perpetual, they do run with the land, but landowners can continue to sell those lands, transfer those lands, pass them on to their kids, but all future owners will be subject to the terms of those easements.
My name is Jane Pacheski, and I loved living on the ranch, and we loved planning it and doing it together, keeping it totally in harmony with nature. Had a lot of fun and work and enjoyment with horses. I really love living in the country. Change of the seasons and going riding out on the pastures. We did that all the time. He was always training some horse, and I was just enjoying the view and enjoying riding. So we just, it was a good life.
The sweetest girl in the world is my blue-eyed Jane.
In 2007, the New Mexico Land Conservancy became the fortunate beneficiary of the Pacheski Ranch. We feel incredibly grateful to Jane Pacheski for making this gift of her house and land. The Pacheski Ranch consists of 260 acres of land and the house. Jane actually protected 240 acres of that land under a conservation easement in 2004, and then subsequently also granted a number of trail easements to Santa Fe County. What better setting for a land trust to be sitting in the middle of 260 acres of conserved land?
We moved out to the ranch in the late 60s, so we had two parts as far from town as we could be. Look what happened. We positioned our house definitely to take in all of the mountain ranges from different windows.
Yeah, you have beautiful views in all directions.
And we wanted to keep them that way.
They were actually the first people to live on this side of the interstate. And they bred horses out here on the property for a number of years and actually raised a number of champion horses on this property. And Gene was actually one of the co-founders of the Santa Fe Rodeo. So there's a lot of history out here, and it's really amazing to look at this area now and see how much growth and development has come into this part of the county. With the current and proposed developments out here, the population is projected to grow another 50,000 people over the next 20 years.
I know you'll never change, my blue-eyed Jane.
My dearest Jane, isn't nature by herself a perfection? Man, working with nature, helping his brother, building through works and successfully raised children, is happy, feels complete, and has fulfilled the purpose of his creation. We can, with the understanding of each other and of nature, which we share, build a wonderful life in unity, sacrifice for each other, and love so much fuller. Jean Paczewski, 1946.
We have decided to name the Paczewski House the Paczewski Conservation Center in Jane's honor, and it will serve not only as our base of operations for the New Mexico Land Conservancy, but as a meeting place for land trusts and other land conservation organizations to talk about topics of mutual interest and concern.
And that's where my satisfaction comes in, and that it really is working. And so I find that very rewarding, that there's some consistency in it and some kind of closure in it, and that it has the possibility of going on for the future.